Rory McIlroy is the 2026 Masters champion. Rory has got some of the best mobility on tour, and he also happens to be one of the top 3 golfers in the world. So congrats to the repeat Masters champion, and let's take a look at his swing. So I mentioned that Rory has some of the best mobility on tour, but specifically his hip and his thoracic mobility. As you can see in this first clip, Rory has a ton of hip range in his golf swing. All the way from here to here is almost all led by his hip. And according to the Titleist Performance Institute, the hip is the joint that starts that energy transfer from the backswing to the follow-through. So this exceptional hip mobility is how Rory is able to drive the ball what feels like 400 yards every time. Whether it's left, right, or center, it felt like he was hitting that ball about 400 yards the entire tournament. This clip from a bird's eye view of Rory's swing was also going around social media a couple weeks ago. This clip right here highlights his exceptional thoracic mobility and the amount of weight transfer that's going on during this swing. You can see when he starts his golf swing, his left knee comes inward and then almost all of his weight is on his right leg. Getting the weight to the right side will allow him to transfer that weight through the golf ball onto his front leg. He does this after fully rotating his right shoulder behind his left shoulder. So now that we know he's got exceptional hip mobility and thoracic mobility, he uses that thoracic mobility as a whip after the hips come through. So his hips fire right here, and then that thoracic is already flying on through so that his arms and eventually his wrists can release through the ball, which ends up launching that ball to who knows where other than Rory and his caddy. So now let's bring this back to how you can improve your mobility. So I found this interesting clip where Rory says this.
My training right now is 2 or 3 days of strength training a week, and golf sort of takes care of the conditioning part of it. I'm 36 and I probably feel just as good now as I did when I was 26.
I love to hear this because one of my biggest pet peeves as a trainer is people wanting to work out 4, 5, or 6 days a week right off the bat. This is almost always a recipe for disaster because most people will go hard for about a month and then fall off the wagon. If you truly want results, whether that is weight loss, mobility, whatever your fitness goals are, 3 days a week of strength training is enough to change your life. Pair that with either some golf or extra steps and you're in a great spot. Follow Rory's advice and get 3 quality workouts in a week. This means high intensity workouts with all kinds of different movement patterns, as well as some mobility drills sprinkled in around it. That is how you can get in the best shape of your life and play better golf than ever. If you need any help with anything, feel free to reach out to me. As always, like this video and hit that subscribe button. Have a great day.